scoring. That's basically it. Joining us, Lawrence's overall record is 18-3. Joining us with color analysis is Mike Porter, a coach and player of the game.
Hi, Tom.
The game in its own right, and of course our electronic impresario, Donna Williams, who is the architect of the Bulldog Sports Network. This game is on a tape-delayed broadcast on Portland's cable channel 2. Yours truly, the play-by-play guy, Tom LaPointe, is operating under duress. He's got a bad case of the flu, and actually during some of the first game he was sleeping through in order to conserve his energy for this particular game.
Conked right out for a while there.
So Mike, what are we going to expect here in terms of the pattern of behavior, in terms of any surprises?
I actually don't know what to expect from Lawrence, having, never seen them or anything, but they have made statements in the paper that they don't score a lot of points, and they have problems with turnovers, but they're a strong defensive team. That sounds pretty interesting because Portland puts a tremendous amount of pressure on people and causes turnovers, and Portland averages about 80 points a game.
Right.
So in order to beat Portland, you got to score 81.
And what was interesting about their defeat of number 1 seed Coney, that was a 70-54 game. And according to the write-up of that game in the Bangor Daily News, they really won that on about a 14-0 run between the first and second quarter. So they really created a situation for themselves early on, and Coney was never able to get back into the game. We're going to go to the house announcer here at the Bangor Auditorium.
Good evening and welcome to this Maine Principal Association Invitational Basketball Tournament Boys Class A State Championship game. And I'm sure we're in store for an outstanding game tonight. This contest has the visiting Bulldogs from Portland High School facing the Bulldogs from Lawrence High School. And now let's meet the participants for this contest. First, the team members for the visiting Portland Bulldogs, coached by Joe Russo.
Of course, we got battling Bulldogs here. We got battling
Sophomore, number 5.
dog pounds. So I think the Portland High School has
The sophomore, number 12, Richard Dorney. The junior, number 14, Ayakoka Coleman. The senior, number 22, John Fleshman. The sophomore, number 24, Benjamin Fowler. The senior, number 30, Joe Giordano. The sophomore, number 32, Joel Arnold. The senior, number 34, Samuel Hugo Savage. The junior, number 44, John Everton. And sophomore, number 50, Johan Saba. And for Lawrence Bulldogs, coached by Mike McGee. The junior, number 20, John Kent. The junior, number 22, Alan Smith. Number 24, a sophomore, Bob McCarthy. The junior, number 30, Corey Pelletier. The junior, number 34, Chris Knight. The freshman, number 40, Captain Teague.
Michael starting his color commentary already by asserting these guys look very slow. We're just seconds away from a tip-off. And the Bangor Auditorium is by far the loudest venue that we've attended and taped any of these games for the Bulldog Sports Network.
It's very electric.
Yes, the Bangor Hydro Company could easily tap into this energy in this particular room right now, and we're looking across to the student body of Lawrence. And during the introductions, they all had newspapers, and they looked studiously bored as the intros were taking place. But
Bored with the Portland intro.
But as we said, this is a team that we expected, a team from the Kennebec Valley Conference to win this Eastern Maine. But I guess I was expecting Coney to win it. So let's see how we do.
Got a different tap lineup here, huh? They want to tap it right over here. An interesting tap lineup. Seems to be an aggressive attack already. They got to set up to tap it right to their own cornermen.
So Portland controls the tap. Topher Philbrick takes a shot. Count the basket. Portland pressuring, challenging, baseball pass, traveling violation. Portland's defense got back very quickly off the baseball pass. Topher Philbrick, Portland's field general. Anthony Russo. Adam the Wax. Over to Pillsbury in the corner, drives the baseline, stops and pop. Count the basket for two. Portland coming out of the blocks real fast and scoring. 7:22 left in the first quarter of play, and the score is 4-0. Portland pressuring, Portland challenging.
Tough time bringing it up that way all game.
And Randy Nato lost the handle on the ball. Topher Philbrick, the Wax man from way outside, in and out. Rebound, Lawrence. Bringing it up quickly, big step. Justin Underwood, missed shot, rebound, missed shot. The Wax man, a.k.a. the Wax, comes up with the board. Topher Philbrick brings it up quickly. People are in motion. Anthony Russo. Alvin Weisberg draws a foul. It'll be a possession foul.
Number 12, Justin Underwood. That's his first.
It's Justin Underwood, his first. Team's first. Count the basket.
Weisberg.
For Weisberg. Lawrence calls a timeout. We're going to zero in on the Portland High School Lady Bulldogs cheerleaders. They're over on the right-hand side of your screen. Trying to get the Portland High School dog pound really energized. The Lawrence student body is all decked out in white, very distinctive over on the far side. But
Special T-shirts, it looks like.
Michael Porter, the eagle eye for sartorial splendor, picks up on these fashionable T-shirts from the Lawrence High School Bulldogs. Lawrence is located in Fairfield, Maine. It's an SAD, and they play in the Kennebec Valley Conference.
2 turnovers for the Lawrence people, possibly 3.
Another turnover. No, almost the right idea. We had him trapped in the corner on a high lob. If it went any higher, he would have had to been file a flight plan with the Bangor International Airport. Anthony Russo's picking up a foul away from the ball. His first, team's first. It's a possession foul.
Number 10, Anthony Russo. That's his first, team's first.
Justin Underwood, he'll be inbounding it. Over to Randy Nadeau. Missed shot, rebound, missed shot. Getting 3 tries at this. Nick Bolduc will be going to the line shooting 2.
Foul number 20, Adam Waxman, his first,
So,
2 seconds.
it's 2 on the wax.
At the line shooting 2 for Rose, number 10, Nick Bolduc.
Nick Bolduc gets the first half of 1 from the charity stripe. Of course, this game is being live broadcast into Portland on UPN 35. They're receiving a direct feed from ABI up here in Bangor, and it's going down by satellite, uplink and downlink. Pillsbury stops and pops. Missed shot, rebound. Who's got the ball? Pillsbury. Drives to the hoop, baseline finger roll. He's going to be going to the line shooting 2.
That was good hustle by Bob Pillsbury to get that loose ball. Right, he took a shot, missed it. Looked like a Lawrence guy had it momentarily, and then he stripped it away.
Well, the Pills was like a MasterCard. He was everywhere the coach wanted him to be.
At the line for Portland, shooting 2, number 3.
Fouls on number 32, Jed Johnson, his first, team's second. Your Bulldog Sports Network crew is laboring under ill health here. Got a bad case of the flu. Linda Pillsbury gets 2 from the charity stripe. The score is 8-1. 5:56 left in the first quarter of play here on this tape delay broadcast on the Bulldog Sports Network. The state Class A Boys Championship at the Bangor Auditorium. 2 points by Jed Johnson, coming off the big pressure from Portland. Topher Philbrook uses the screen wisely. Kicks it to Robert Pillsbury in the corner. Pillsbury might take this guy to class. He does. Count the basket. You can't give him that quick first step.
I heard a big ooh from across the way when he made that move.
All right, so the Lawrence Bulldog crowd is a little bit engaged on the quick, fancy footwork of Robert Pillsbury. Rebound long. Jed Johnson. Turnover, jump ball. We'll take it. Russo comes up with it. Justin Underwood lost the handle on the ball. Topher Philbrook stops and pops. Missed shot, big time rebound by the Wax.
Number 34,
Sandro V and J.J. Emerton have come in for Portland. Loss of possession by Portland on that rebound attempt. Little travel, almost a turnover. And Johnson, little reverse layup for 2. 4:20.
There's a little bit of offense by accident there.
Pillsbury drives to the hoop, gets a player control foul. Much to my surprise and to the delight of the Lawrence fans. So it's Robert Pillsbury's first, team's second. A couple of substitutions for Lawrence. We'll try to catch up with them, but we're laboring under very small print in the Maine Principals Association program.
They always get it to Underwood.
So Underwood brings it up. He's traveling there. Trafton Teague creates a turnover for himself by getting a traveling violation. 5-10, 4:05 left in the first quarter of play. Portland seems to be controlling this game right now. Some of the offense that...
Player in guarding Pillsbury, number 20.
J.J. Emerton for 2. Turnaround jumper. Hey, there's no difference between the Reiki Schoolyard and the Bangor Auditorium.
Not at all.
Lawrence feeling the pressure. Big time. Into the hoop. And there's another turnover. Pillsbury. John Kent just lost. Trying to bounce pass it in and nothing doing. The Pills grabbed it. Said, hey, you do that again, I'll take you to the cleaners. Anthony Russo out beyond the three-point line. Sandro V loses the handle. Lawrence comes up with it. Boldick brings it up. Justin Underwood, excuse me, he's number 12. Number 20 is John Kent. Number 40 is Trafton Teague. Portland making them work, work, work. Big time rebound on the weak side by J.J. Emerton.
Good defensive stand by Portland.
Showing his authority in terms of another player control foul against Portland. It's against Sandro V. It's his first, team's fourth. Traveling violation, very obvious. He didn't put the ball to the floor. Trafton Teague has turned the ball over twice now.
They're making that long pass, and it almost appears as if it's going to work, but the recipient is never really free of the Portland player, and they see that happening, and they travel. It's happened 3 times.
2:28 left in the first period. Portland 12, Lawrence 5. Portland's controlling the momentum, picking up some questionable player control fouls. I'll get it out, bear with me.
Good D, Lawrence does in half court.
Anthony Russo takes it to the hoop. Nice move, rebound. J.J. Emerton out of bounds. Off Portland. Lawrence's ball. Watch Portland pressure it here. Alvin Weisberg coming in for Sandro V. So Portland's got some real big guys up front and some quickness between Pillsbury, Russo, and Topher Philbrook. And another turnover.
Underwood makes the mistake of always throwing the ball when he's in midair. You should never do that. That's what the Coos told me.
Okay, there you have it. For those middle school students out there, you might have to do some research. The Coos never said, or always says, never make the pass while you're airborne.
Right.
Unless you're on an F-15 and you got a air-to-ground missile. Okay, the Waxman's coming in here. So Portland is substituting fairly freely, as is Lawrence.
We're not out of the first quarter yet, and Lawrence has 7 turnovers.
Well, one of the things that we've been keeping track of through the course of most of these playoff games in the Western Maine Conference down at the Cumberland County Civic Center are turnovers, and Portland has dominated the turnover situation in most of its play and continuing that practice here tonight.
They've taken Underwood out to talk to him, possibly about his passing. Because he's their best player. They can't keep him out for long.
Nice move. Count the basket. And I don't know who got it. Laboring under respiratory distress and a full frontal assault from the Lawrence fans. Sandro V gets the trifecta from the parking lot. Josh Barad, number 14, over to 22, Alan Smith, trying to work it in, stops and pops, and we're going to get a foul. Looks like it's going to go against Sandro V. He just pounded the hardwood in a sense of modest disgust.
Number 34,
it's his second. No, it's his first. I thought it was his second, but it's the team's 5th.
Yeah, it's his second.
Yeah, they don't have it right. We have it right here. He had a player control foul down on the baseline. Well, if they don't put it in the book, that's fine with us. So Sandro V is out, and Anthony Russo has come in for Sandro V. And Coach Russo is having a few words with him, and Sandro V is pointing and has his hands extended in disgust about something, and count the baskets from the charity stripe. 9 to 15, 45 seconds, and the clock is running. And Topher Philbrook having a good game. They just let him have the lane, and he says, hey, I'll take it. Anthony Russo comes up with the ball. Pillsbury off the glass. The two off for another turnover, and we'll be taking a look at those turnovers at the end of the first quarter. Again, feeling the pressure from the Portland High School Bulldogs. Barad trying to take Topher Philbrook someplace, but Topher said, no, you won't. Missed shot, big step, nothing doing. Rebound, Portland. Topher Philbrook trying to get it into Alvin Weisberg, and Alvin was about a step behind it. So loss of possession, Lawrence's ball.
One of the differences in these two teams is Lawrence puts a lot of pressure on in the half court, and it makes it a little difficult for Portland to score. Portland, on the other hand, puts tremendous pressure on the full court, and that's where they've gotten their turnover.
Just in case you missed that, Adam Waxman picked up a foul guarding against the long football pass. He said he climbed up his back. I think it was incidental contact and not a fair call. So the Wax picks up his second. It's a team 6. 2 ticks left on the clock here, and nothing doing. Well, the turnover department's killing these guys.
Killing them. But they're getting a lot of nice calls. Yeah. The Eastern Maine team is.
Yeah, they certainly are. And one of the things that we noted already in this particular game is that Lawrence went on a 14-0 run against Coney at the end of the first and the beginning of the second period. They're not having an opportunity to do that. They're just throwing the ball away and just creating a godzillion turnovers.
Right. They're making a lot of ill-advised passes in the full court offense, trying to counteract the Portland man-to-man pressure. I mean, 8 turnovers is a lot of turnovers to one quarter. If you quadruple that, you'd have a record number of turnovers.
The Portland High School Lady Bulldogs cheerleaders exhorting the dog pound onto continued and greater hijinks here at the Bangor Auditorium. This game being brought to you on a delayed tape broadcast courtesy of Williams Productions and the Bulldog Sports Network, being shown on Portland Cable Channel 2. Some of you have probably noted already that this game was televised live on UPN 35. And again, another turnover. What do you think Coach Russo said during the quarter break?
I think he told them they were doing a really good job and they should just keep up the same kind of pressure that they've been applying.
And this is their brand of basketball, challenging the opponent defensively and getting a lot of offensive production from a variety of different players. Keying off, of course, Robert Pillsbury. Okay, that was a nice ball movement, and Johnson picks up the 2 on the assist. Nice entry pass. The Pills, is he going to take this guy to class? Yeah, kicks it over to JJ. JJ's in motion, and we got some sort of...
I think it's a foul on number 10.
It looks like an illegal screen that was set up by Nick Boldick. Chris Knights.
They've tried a number of different players on Pillsbury. This is the 3rd one.
So Chris Knights picks up his first, and the people running the scorers table are having a hard time keeping up the scoreboard. They still have Sandro V down for 1 foul, and they never put up Chris Knights' foul. So, must have some rookies over on the table over there. And J.J. Eminent says, hey, Once again, no difference here. Bangor Auditorium, Reiki School, Augusta Civic Center. It's only 120 miles. Pillsbury drills the trifecta. He was almost standing in a dog pound on that one. Let's give him a biscuit. 24-11.
Another thing about Portland, they're awful hard to come back against. Very hard. Only one team, in fact, all year I had a surge coming back against Portland was Westbrook.
Number 10, Anthony Russo.
So Anthony Russo picks up his second, team seventh, and they got the scoreboard up to speed now. And of course, the Portland fans are.
Portland might have to be a little cautious about the fouls.
Okay, so they might have to be a little bit more virtuous, as we're off to say, and make room for daylight. We moving away from the Holy Spirit in St. Joseph. Daylight.
Another change that Lawrence has made is they've put Underwood at the 2 guard so that he can get an opportunity to shoot, where previously he was playing point, and they have number 14 playing point guard.
Underwood gets 1 from the free throw. It's 12-24. Portland has a 12-point lead as we get into the second period of play. 6:04, chicking away on the Bangor Auditorium clock. Coco Coleman is in for Portland. Pillsbury sets up quickly, decides against the shot, and drives the baseline, gets it to Alvin Weisberg, nothing doing. Weak side rebound, Underwood. Strike that. Johnson. Okay, this is what we were saying a few moments ago.
Obvious block.
We got to be a little bit more virtuous.
And 44, John Emerson. That's his first.
J.J. Eminence first. Is there anyone in foul trouble as we look at these?
3 of them with 2 fouls.
Okay.
That last call to me looked like a pretty good block by J.J.
Coach Russo is over there pleading his case with the one of the referees, saying, hey, this is a championship game. Let's let these guys play. That was a decent block. Another turnover. Coco Coleman comes up with it, gets it into the hands of Portland's field general, Topher Philbrook. Philbrook is setting up a play. People are in motion. Pillsbury's coming in on the back door. J.J. pops way out. Topher Philbrook. Almost. Alvin, is he going to make it? No. Rebound. Number 32.
They've got a fella out there now,
Johnson.
10, who I'm talking about now when Portland has the ball. They got a number 10 who's guarding Pillsbury, who's beginning to frustrate Robert a little bit.
Okay. Let's take a look at the next Portland possession and see what happens with this matchup. Pillsbury to number 10, J.J. Eminent, block shot. Missed. And then J.J., he did everything but sell popcorn in the paint. Okay, watch Pillsbury in the near. You can see him to the right-hand side of your screen. He's being guarded by number 10. Alvin Weisberg says, hey, I'm a stronger guy than you. You're gonna try to take it away from me. You got another thought coming. Well, nice effort by Nato for the 2, 15-26. Pillsbury guarding pretty tight here. Tries to use the Weisberg screen. Little confusion by Lawrence on the defense. Pillsbury's off to the right-hand side of your screen. Yeah, this guy is on him like a beagle on a rabbit. Okay, Coco Coleman probably would like to have that back, but he did pick up the foul. And so some of the pleadings by Coach Russo maybe working over there from the bench in terms of...
On that last possession, both number 10 and Pillsbury were tuckered right out from chasing each other. They were just standing still.
This is a Portland timeout. So here's where we are at the Bangor Auditorium on this tape-delayed broadcast. 3:52 left in the second period. Lawrence 15, Portland 26. Foul situation, Portland has 8, and Lawrence has 5. And on the turnover department, we're still cranking him up, but it's a little bit more measured now. But let's see what number 10 is. Yeah, he's still watching Pillsbury. Watch out of the right-hand side of your screen. And knocks the ball out of bounds. Pillsbury seemed a little behind that one. But Portland picks up the possession on the out of bounds. This is Nick Boldick, who's earning his pay here, guarding the Pills. And Wax, not my favorite shot, but hey, Weisberg says, hey, what do you call that move?
Power move, a jump stop power move. That's his favorite move.
Well, I mean, he went so high on the jump stop that, I mean, he just swung over the defender. And the rest of it was easy street to the hoop for 2. Here's Boldick being guided by Pillsbury. Hey, you know, one good. Okay, Alvin Weisberg fighting for the rebound. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow, Portland. We finally figured out the possession arrow is built into the scoreboard. And
it says POSS.
It's a very progressive labeling system now that we've figured it out. Okay, Anthony Russo being guarded by Justin Underwood. And
can't stop him inside. Alvin's looking great.
Yeah, Alvin is doing everything but selling chicken salad sandwiches in the paint there. They can't contain him.
And they're not getting any help from number 10 because he has his back to the ball all the time.
So if they're going to guard Pillsbury,
Another steal.
nice little trailer play by Alvin. Count the basket on the missed shot. That was really a Robert Pillsbury pass. But it was a nice steal. What we saw happening here was the Portland defensive combinations connecting all the dots from the steal in the paint, moving it to Anthony Russo, getting it to Robert Pillsbury, and Alvin Weisberg doing a nice job as the trailer.
You know, all this noise you hear around us is not coming from the T-shirts with the big L on them.
Okay, we're taking a look at the Portland High School cheerleaders exhorting the dog pound on to greatness, and we're back to play action here. 2:18 left on the clock, 15-32. Topher Philbrook guarding Josh Barad. Lawrence pretty frustrated. Trafton Teague, Mike Brown, missed shot, rebound. Alvin Weisberg. He said, oh, I'll be a guard. No, I guess not. I'll give it.
They're taking Underwood out again.
To Russo, who quickly gets it off to Topher Philbrook, Portland's field general for the time being. The Waxman way out decides not to take the shot. They can run some stuff down off the clock here if they wanted to. Here's Alvin going to make his move. No shot. Waxman almost got the board, but he was very virtuous when he went up on that. He didn't want to draw a foul, and frankly,
pretty good on the fouls the last 3 minutes.
Frankly, he could have drawn one. The guy, if he had a ladder. There's a travel.
Another travel.
The Portland fans pick up on it. He doesn't know what to do. He's definitely confused. Topher Philbrook, who of course is one of several quick Portland players, Anthony Russo, Robert Pillsbury, and Topher Philbrook. Yeah. And Portland's coming in with 56 ticks left on the second quarter here, 15-34, and they can't do much. And okay, well, he tried to be virtuous, but he couldn't do a midair. Couldn't do the midair correction, and Newton's third law took over.
Adam Waxman, that's his third.
So that's his third. Well,
shooting 2, number 32, Jed Johnson.
So Jed Johnson is shooting 2 off that missed shot, having been guarded and fouled by Adam Waxman. Sandro V comes in, Coco Coleman, and J.J. Emerton. So Alvin,
Number 34, Sandra Vukosanovich, and number
Anthony Russo, and Richard Dorney was in for a while. He just snuck by me here.
number 50, Matt.
No, I don't think so.
Well, he sat down on the bench as the people migrating in. So, hey, you out there who are taping this game, prove me right, or prove Michael right. Take a look at the tape afterwards. 39 ticks left. Portland going for the last shot. Here at the Bangor Auditorium in this state Class A championship game. Portland 21-0 and top seed from the West. Lawrence has 3 losses on the season, and they clawed their way through the East in Maine. Now, Michael and I were talking a little earlier. Lawrence might have a little advantage here in terms of they were actually playing in this facility, but it hasn't come to pass. Pillsbury.
Oh, wow. What a play by Robert. What a nice play. Went right into the middle of the court. Took a jumper, got fouled. It went in. Number 10 right on him.
So he picks up 2. He says, says to Nick Boldick, okay, you want to guard me? All right. I've given you some breaks, and the Pills completes the 3-point play.
20-point lead.
Josh Longstaff comes in for Robert Pillsbury. So Coach Russo going deep into his bench very early. Really, there's only 6 ticks left on the clock here, but hey, Sandro V comes up with the ball, and at the end of 2 periods of play, the Portland High School Bulldogs are 37, and the Lawrence High School Bulldogs from Fairfield, Maine, are 17. We have a 20-point lead here going into the halftime, going into the dugout. Coach Russo's got to be very pleased.
Very pleased. See, a team can't win too many games only scoring 17 points and a half. And Lawrence indicated in some of their pre-game discussions that they didn't score too many points, but I didn't realize that they would give up so many points.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the Portland High School Lady Bulldog cheerleaders. No, I guess we're in the crowd here. We're trying to figure out who's what and where. Let's see, Expo Eddie at his anointed place of honor, and a fair amount of Portland fans did come up, make the 2-hour trek from Portland, and of course there are a lot of people I suspect who are sitting home watching this game and ordering out for pizza.
Well, they might be right now. Interesting in this game is that Waxman and Russo haven't scored any points yet, but Robert Pillsbury has exploded for 16, and Alvin has scored 10 in the first half here.
And Topher Philbrook has 6.
Yes, he does.
Sandro V has 3, and J.J. Emerton has 2. But J.J. has been playing extraordinary defense.
Oh, nice, and good boards.
Alvin been making the power move down in the paint, doing everything but selling chicken salad sandwiches, and J.J. a couple of times on the defensive end in the paint just wouldn't let him get a basket. 2 or 3 tries.
Now, there was a stretch there where Alvin had 3 baskets. It was during the time that Robert Pillsbury was being very closely guarded by Bolduc. It was almost like a 4-on-4 with that kind of space. Alvin was, a strong matchup for whoever was guarding him.
Of course, your Bulldog Sports Network is bringing you this delayed tape broadcast. And Mike Porter is once again for our final game of the year, joining us with color and analysis. And Donna Williams, our electronic impresario, on the video cam. We got a nice little location here in the Bangor Auditorium, and we don't know if the Portland High School Lady Bulldog cheerleaders are coming out. We're trying to zero in on someone here, and Donna is intent. The coach's family, all right. Here's a family album shot for Coach Russo's extended nuclear family, and they must have rented a small bus to come up here because it's a fairly large group of people. And
my family's here. I got my son. He's down there shaking hands with Coach Bailey.
We came up real early today. We left Portland around 3 o'clock and got here at 5, and I was in pain.
I left about 11 o'clock.
Okay, here's the Waxman family, and what can we say? Our Bulldog fans, they'll go to every corner of the earth to support the Portland High School Bulldogs. And of course, the way the Bangor Auditorium is set up, there's another group of people who are way up behind us here. So, Donner, we need to take a little break here, and you want me to hold for 1 more minute? And we're going to keep an eye on the Portland High School. Okay, where is Grandmother Russo? Grandmother Russo has some definite opinions about basketball. And
Mr. Russo's mother?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, she's a very knowledgeable fan. I've listened to her, some of her extemporaneous comments during the games, and she knows what she's talking about.
Well, we probably should have had her up here doing color.
No, I don't think so.
Just some of her extemporaneous comments probably would have to be blipped.
She gets excited.
She gets excited. Well, this is an exciting time for the Portland High School Bulldogs. An undefeated season to date, and they come.
I get excited too, but I'm such a cool guy.
And I'm trying to zero in on the monitor. Yeah, Mike, you are definitely a cool guy. And I'm trying to zero in on who. This is another member of the Russo clan? All right, well, the Russo family is going to probably hold on to this tape. This is all being stage managed by Steve Williams down there in the stands. All right, we are going to take a break here now, and that's a wrap. We got about 5 minutes left then we'll be back for the second half of play. Michael, what did Coach Russo say?
I think Coach Russo must have told them to keep doing what they're doing, to play the same kind of alert, opportunistic defense that they've been playing since the opening gun, and keep attacking that half-court defense of the Lawrence Bulldogs. It's a good half-court defense, but eventually it breaks down. As you can see, there's a 20-point lead.
Okay, we also wanted to take a brief moment to comment on the fact that the Portland High School Bulldogs won the Maine Principals Association Sportsmanship Award in the Western Maine Class A tournament. And they also...
It was well-deserved. You know, it was well deserved.
Yeah, speak to that a little bit more.
I watch these guys play. It's been reference made to them being city kids or playground kids, but I've seen them. They never talk back to the refs. They never make faces after a call. They've been picking their opponents up off the floor. They're very, very sportsmanlike.
And they also tallied up a 3-point team record in the Western Maine.
That's true also. I think they went one basket ahead of the record.
Maine Principal Association values good sportsmanship very highly. More often than not, good sportsmanship and a mathematic and preparation.
Oh, they're getting the award now. This is from... It was announced in the paper. Here it is. We're trying to zero in on this. And as Michael was saying, I mean, they just comported themselves as real gentlemen on the basketball court, even though they were stuffing everybody.
Right.
Assistant principal at Edward High School in Auburn, and chair of the Western Maine.
So they're magnanimous and generous in their ability to decimate the opposing teams.
Right. There was no trash talking that I could see.
Well, here it is. They're bringing it over to the dog pound. The dog pound's going wild. It's also being shot bad live, courtesy of WABI Channel 5 here in Bangor and giving a satellite feed to UPN 35 in Portland.
Pleased to present the 1999 Class A Eastern Maine Class A Sportsmanship banner to representatives from Bangor High School.
Okay, and Bangor High School picked up the Eastern Maine Sportsmanship Award. Donner, I see someone over on the Portland bench who, a hydration specialist. He's making sure that everyone has plenty of fluids. That's Josh Waxman, and Josh is on the Bulldog Sports Network. All hydration team, the first all hydration specialist team. Josh is a student at the Hall Elementary School. And I'm about ready to fall out of the stands here trying to figure out what Donner is looking at. Okay, Portland bench. We're getting ready for the tip-off. Actually, no, just a basic out of bounds because Portland possession arrow is going Lawrence's way. Thanks for putting up with me, folks. We're battling the flu here as we bring you this game on a tape-delayed broadcast. And Lawrence picks up 2 quick points from Justin Roderick. J.J. Emmett, and I can shoot that. And rebound, number 10, Nick Boldick. And let's see what Lawrence does on this possession. They're going to try to make a run at Portland right now. They're going to engage in what Michael and I have been characterizing as a surge.
They need one.
Yeah, they need a big surge. They could get CMP and Bangor Hydro here to give them a surge. And J.J. Emmert in skies for that rebound that went high off the iron, and he says, oh, I can get that. Anthony Russo for 3. So that's his first basket of the game, and Anthony Russo has been relatively quiet in terms of offensive production, but he's been very productive in many other ways. Topher Philbrook guarding Josh Barad.
Guarding their best man there, Underwood. He does that every game.
So they're going to give a foul to Pillsbury, and we'll send him a knockout of this tape because it wasn't there.
Foul number 3, Robert Pillsbury.
You were telling me that the Portland High School Bulldogs went through a drill during regular practice.
Yes, they did.
You might want to share that with
They were
people.
scrimmaging. They had scrimmages. They had the assistant coaches be referees, make calls that were questionable or even unjust, and they practiced not complaining and going along with the calls in preparation for this game in Eastern Maine.
Out of bounds. Off Portland. No, off Lawrence. It's Portland's ball. Anthony Russo. Alvin Weisberg. Power move. Rebound.
That's a possession.
Looks like it's going to go against Lawrence. Randy Netto's first. So right off the bat, we're being pretty even-steven on the fouls, 1 and 1. And Coach Russo has a few words with Topher Philbrook. Topher Philbrook comes out and talks about something that was going on underneath the basket that he would like the officials to have a little bit more focused attention. And
again, in reference to that practice technique, it's he wanted to get the kids to be ready, not to get a technical. And we saw a situation in the girls' game where a technical was worth about 6 points.
Yeah, that was the Lewiston Mount Blue game, and while the game had turned earlier, but that was really the final series of nails. And okay, J.J. Emmett picks up a foul, but makes this guy go to the line to shoot 2.
Second.
Foul number 44, Dylan Emerson. That's his team second.
And it's a possession foul. He wasn't shooting. It's J.J.'s second. Well, one of the fans behind us is asking, that's not a shooting foul? Hey, we'll count our blessings. Okay. Randy Nato tries to do the Alvin Weisberg power move and does it with some success. Didn't have the thundering nature that Alvin brings to the move. Pillsbury, missed shot, long rebound, and rebound against Pillsbury. Fouls against Pillsbury.
Foul number 3, Robert Pillsbury. That's his third. Team's third.
Well, Coach Russo's calling a timeout. It's 21-41. It's still a 20-point lead with 5:37, but...
Let me bring you up to date on the foul situation. Robert Pillsbury just picked up his third. Adam Waxman also has 3. And Russo, Sandro V, and J.J. Emerton have 2. But I don't see any fouls for Weisberg right now. That's a good sign.
So, Pillsbury has 3. We'll have to see what Coach Russo does in terms of making an adjustment there. He may sit him down for a while, and Alvin is playing virtuously and absent any fouls on his otherwise spotless record here. And Portland taking their time to come out from this timeout that Coach Russo called. Of course, we probably should take a shot at Audrey McKenzie, the trainer for Portland. She's been to all the games and make sure these guys stay very, very healthy. And she does a terrific job for Portland sports. Well, it's the first time they've converted the long football pass to 2 points. Not to worry. Alvin.
What a nice assist by Pillsbury. By Philbrook. Nice assist.
Okay.
They got it.
Goaltending by Alvin. Ball was above the rim. But Alvin just showing his authority. Hey, I can get up there and make it a little bit more difficult for you guys. You just caught a break. Pillsbury still in the game. Sandro V, Topher Philbrook, Anthony Russo, and Alvin Weisberg for Portland right now. So Bolduc, who's been guarding the Pills, has got 2 fouls. A little bit of a bumping action there, according to our erstwhile color analysis guy, who always sees things that the normal eye misses on the hardwood. Oh, nice move. And Alvin's going to pick up his first. Be a shooting foul. 25-43, 4:38 left in the third period of play. Oh, well, strike that. Sandro V's should be his. They got 3 up on the board. I think it's his 4th. You have 3. Yeah. All right. So Nick Bolduc gets 2 from the charity stripe. Let's see what Portland does on this possession. People are in motion. They're going to call a player control foul. The defensive player was in motion. There's no way he had his feet set.
He was leaning right on him.
It's a...
Hey, you stink! That's a terrible call, Marshmallow!
Okay. Some of the Portland fans getting excited. Well, 3 points. Justin Underwood, 30-43, 13-point lead. The Waxman's coming into the scorer's table. Turnover Portland, and the Lawrence crowd is going wild.
What was the call?
I think it was a turnover, Mike. Coach Russo wisely calls a timeout and says, hey. And
it's a timeout. I think it's just a timeout.
the dog pound is going wild on this Coach Russo called timeout.
Leads down to 13. So we've had a surge. We've had a little momentum.
Surge, right? And they were. Portland had clearly a 20-point lead, so right now we're on a run of sorts that Coach Russo, of course, if you look at the Bangor Daily News from March 11th, he said these teams, throughout the course of the regular season play and tournament play, he's seen everything thrown at Portland, and of course he knows how to settle his young men down, and I suspect that everything will work out quite nicely here. And there's an example of things working out quite nicely. Creating the turnover, and
That's his second foul.
fouls on Justin Underwood, no intentional call, and he goes to the line, and Underwood shakes Pillsbury's hand. But we'll take the turnover, and Pillsbury gets the first of two. Portland High School fans are really into this game. And the Pills gets two, so it's back up to 15 points. And expect Portland to pressure. Count the basket. Anthony Russo picks up his foul. And Justin Underwood, who is the money player for Lawrence, is at the line shooting one, and let's see if he completes the three-point play. Indeed he did. 33-45, 3:53 left in the third period of play. Portland being very measured as we are well into the third period. Pillsbury, Topher Philbrook. Nice one into the Waxman, and Alvin Weisberg gets upended, scores the basket, and nothing doing in terms of any fouls. They say, well, Alvin, you're a big boy. 33-47, another whistle, and it's a foul. And it's against Lawrence.
A lot of hard picks.
It's against Nick Boldick, and our eagle eye Mike Porter seems to think it came off a very tough, hard pick. The referee have a few words with the dog pound. Topher Philbrook to Pillsbury, being guarded closely. I'll take the shot. No foul. Pillsbury was looking for the foul on the three-point shot. He went sprawling across the end of.
Portland is not going to get any really decent calls. They're not going to get any good calls in this game, it appears. I mean, the majority of the calls have either been correct or leaning towards Lawrence.
So Chris Knights picks up his second, and it's the team's fifth. And Alvin is shooting two. Alvin gets the first half of one from the charity stripe. Scores 33-48 with 3:10 left in the third period of play. Here at the Bangor Auditorium, this game being brought to you courtesy of the Bulldog Sports Network. And Alvin Weisberg gets two. Let's see what Lawrence does on this possession. Portland has to play with some virtue. Missed shot. The Waxman picks up the rebound, and as Mike has said,
Right over the back, no call.
they're not just calling anything for Portland. And Pillsbury to Russo, to Topher Philbrook, into the Waxman. Waxman trying to draw the foul, nothing doing. Topher Philbrook gets a hand on it. Button, who's got the button. And looks like it's going to be Lawrence's ball off that errant situation. 2:31 left in the third period. 33-49. Portland up by 16. Portland needs a stop here. Want to keep the ball away from number 12, Justin Underwood. He just moved to the left of your screen. A little bit too much. A little too much Dijon mustard on that one, and Alvin comes up with a rebound and kicks it over to Topher, who brings it up, and let's just run some time off the clock here. No shot clock in high school ball, and the Waxman, nice entry pass from Topher Philbrook, finally draws the foul. The quality of mercy is not strained, Adam. It dropped, but there's the gentle rain from the heaven above. So you picked up a foul. Wax will be shooting one. Let's see if he can complete the three-point play. Fouls on number 50, Matt Clement. Coco Coleman is coming in for the Pills. Pills has 3 fouls. Coach Russo saying, oh, I'd rather have Coco Coleman in there for the last 2 minutes. Let's see what the Wax does from the charity stripe. Missed shot, rebound, Coco Coleman, new ball, Russo to Topher Philbrook. Alvin Weisberg kisses it off the glass. He's going to get the foul to go his way, and Alvin will be going to the line shooting one. So we're backed up into a 20-point lead with 1:46 left in the third period. So everyone's playing with some measure, and it's the 7th team foul on J.J. Emerton. Give him 2 on the putback off the missed Alvin Weisberg shot from the charity stripe. So on accident, we have the 4-point play. Jump ball. Alvin Weisberg says, hey, possession arrow, Portland. So Justin Underwood
is playing out of control,
the money player for,
in my opinion. He's trying to
Lawrence is trying to do everything but warm up the bus. And Michael thinks he's out of control. And Michael, we've come to appreciate your comments about these young players. 1:12 left in the third period of play. And it's a 22-point lead. And Anthony Russo says, hey, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow will be Lawrence. But Anthony Russo is not going to give these guys any quarter.
I thought he was fouled. But they don't see it that way.
Well, .58 ticks left. Missed shot, rebound, and count the basket. Matt Clement for 2. He'll be going to line shooting 1 off the Justin Underwood missed shot.
Justin Underwood, 29-foot shot.
That's his first foul. Team 7. At the line for Lawrence, number 50, Matt Clement.
35-55, 52.
It's pretty much stayed the same as it was at halftime.
52 ticks left on the clock here at the Bangor Auditorium. This game being brought to you, of course, by the Bulldog Sports Network. Tape-delayed broadcast. This is our last game for this season, and on behalf of the Bulldog Sports Network crew, our fearless leader, our electronic impresario, Donna Williams, Mike Porter on color for the boys' games, and Don Doan and Rick Young, who helped out during the Western Maine Class A tournament. Lindsay LaPointe, who came in and helped us with some numbers. And of course, Steve Williams, who patiently drives us to these games and keeps us together. Thank you, everyone, and we hope that you have enjoyed these Bulldog Sports Network games as much as we have, bringing them to you. 7 ticks left, Underwood in traffic, missed shot, Emerton rebound. And I think they're going to count the basket. Nice job of kissing it off the glass with left less than 7 seconds to go. And here are the Portland High School Lady Bulldog cheering squad. We're going to zero right in on them. They haven't been doing dance numbers, and I don't know whether that's a function of not being able to get a tape to the auditorium PA system or how that works, but I've actually enjoyed some of their rather crisp dance numbers from the Portland Exposition Building, and I missed them through the course of the tournament at the Cumberland County Civic Center. Just one last announcement concerning the Bulldog Sports Network What is Gribbon Point contest. You still have an opportunity to send your postcards in to the Bulldog Sports Network, care of Portland High School, 284 Cumberland Avenue, Portland, Maine. And you might have a great opportunity to win a Casco Bay Woolworks fine stadium blanket. So if you think you know what Gribbon's Point is, put it on a postcard and send it in to that address. Or if you're a student, just drop it off to Joyce, Ray Mailman Secretary. She'll be happy to take it if you don't have a U.S. Postal Service postcard. But that's our last announcement. And here we are, beginning of the 4th period. Foul's going to go against Lawrence.
The defensive tactics of Lawrence on Robert Pillsbury has had some sort of a payoff. He only got 1 basket and 2 foul shots in the 3rd quarter. He's been really smothered, but Alvin Weisberg has picked up the load. Scored 8 points in that quarter.
Well, as we were saying, we expected Pillsbury to be shut down. He hasn't really been double-teamed too much, but when they try to shut him down, what you do is you move the ball inside and low to Alvin, and he's more than compensated for Pillsbury's lack of the usual offensive production. So in that 3rd quarter of play. So what we're seeing here is that Coach Russo and his young Portland High School Bulldogs have so many weapons. Okay, looks like it's going to go to Alvin Weisberg. I thought he rode with him all the way to the top.
Maybe his first foul.
But
let me see.
Alvin has been playing with great virtue. He only has 2 personal fouls, and the team fouls are pretty much evened out, 8 and 8 right now. 7:33 left, and 4th period of play here at the Bangor Auditorium. And it might turn out to be a good foul, as Jed Johnson is not able to get the first half to go. Nor the second. So turns out to be a very, very good foul, Alvin. And 38-57. The Portland High School Bulldogs up by 19. It's the most relaxed I've seen the Wax going after a ball. Pillsbury takes a shot, missed. John Barad comes up with the rebound off the missed Pillsbury shot. Topher Philbrook pressuring this guy, along with Anthony Russo. And they could have called a traveling violation. The guy sort of took off it just inside of the charity stripe.
When he crosses half court, he's got that kind of a look, you know.
Sort of, he's a demon. He looks demonized as he takes the ball to the hoop. So Underwood will be shooting 2. And Adam Waxman picks up his fourth. Gets the first of two from the charity stripe. And, well, Donner, I guess those naps I took during the first game paid off. I seem to be back into this mode of being able to do the play-by-play. 40-57, 17-point lead. Pillsbury to Sandro V, missed shot. Alvin Weisberg. Anthony Russo off the Alvin Weisberg missed putback.
Anthony Russo.
And Topher Philbrick, what do we got here?
Foul on Topher.
Topher Philbrick picks up a foul.
Foul on number 4, Chris Philbrick. That's his second. Team's second.
Of course, we've mentioned Audrey, the trainer for Portland High School, and she's ably assisted by Karen Bailey, who is also present on site here at the Bangor Auditorium.
Number 12.
We thank you both for keeping our players healthy through the course of the year. Making sure they had the right amount of tape. They didn't do anything crazy to their bodies as they were on a roll with this undefeated season as they come into this state championship game. Two baskets. It's 41-59, 6:30 left. Adam Waxman has 4 fouls. Anthony Russo, I'll take it. And he's going to get fouled.
Foul on Underwood.
And it's on Justin Underwood.
Definitely shooting.
And Anthony Russo will be shooting too. Anthony looks like he didn't put a lot of effort into that, but
Well, that's because he was hit. He was hit here, see, and it took, you know.
oh, that's why we pay you the big bucks, Michael. You pick up on all of these subtleties and less than subtleties. Russo gets the first half of 1 from the charity strike.
Oh, yeah, he made the first one. Lining up here for the second one. The reason the ball didn't reach the basket, folks, was because Anthony was hit on the forearm with that foul.
And Alvin Weisberg for 2 on the putback off the missed second effort from the charity stripe. Pillsbury's back in for Portland. No traveling there. Tap in, nothing doing. And finally, Ted Johnson, try hard enough and you might get something to work for you. 43-62, 19-point lead for the Portland High School Bulldogs over the Lawrence Bulldogs. And we're going to get a foul. It's going to go against Justin Underwood. It looks like it might be his 4th. It should be.
Falls on number 12, Justin Underwood. That's his 4th.
It's too bad that he's getting so frustrated. He is a terrific player. This is his last year of playing ball at Lawrence, he being a senior. And
Seems quite fiery.
Anthony Russo will be shooting 2 because he's in the double bonus. It's all right. I want these guys to get 2 points on the putback. Okay, the dog pound's going wild here. Okay, Anthony Russo gets 1 of 2. 43-63, it's a 20-point lead. Alvin Weisberg intercepts the long football pass. Anthony Russo to Weisberg, to Russo, to Pillsbury. And I think Pillsbury would like to draw a foul here. And kisses it high off the glass. But Sandro V, with a nice weak side rebound, puts the ball back into the hoop for 2, 43-65. Where are those newspapers that this rather disinterested group of students from Lawrence High School had earlier? Then what do we have there, Michael?
We had another turnover by Lawrence, bringing it to a total of 15 by my count. they had their spurt in the third quarter, and it didn't do too well, and now they're down again by 22 points.
No fouls, hands all over.
Nice job. Nice job of preventing the backcourt violation. They now pick up a turnover off a double dribble, but Pillsbury has such tremendous control over his body that he realized he was being pushed over, but in the air he was still able to get the ball before his back into Portland territory without his feet touching the ground. Justin Underwood for two, 45-65, 20-point lead. And ball's off Lawrence. Sandro V is saying it might have. Well, I don't know what Sandro V is talking about. He's such an energized kind of guy. He may be talking about something that took place a couple of possessions ago. That's all right, Sandro. That's Coach Russo in the dog pound. All of us like that sort of spunkiness. Okay, almost a turnover. Someone just has to look up. And Anthony Russo from Topher Philbrook on a nice bounce pass as Russo is driving the baseline for two. 45-67, 22-point lead, 4:03 left in the fourth period of play here at the Bangor Auditorium. And it looks like that's going to go against Alvin. He sort of moved that guy into
Alvin had the inside.
Somerset County with that move, but you think Alvin had the inside move?
Alvin had the inside.
That's his third.
Well, Michael, you're gonna have to get the names of these officials and do a little workshop keyed off this tape.
Right. That one could have gone either way, but in every situation where it could have gone either way, it's gone towards Lawrence tonight. So.
But once again, this guy went to the line on a previous Alvin Weisberg foul, and he missed them both. So, Jed Johnson, what can we say?
Hey, looks like he's going into his bench down there, Lawrence is. 3:57. Made one.
Got one of two from the charity stripe. 46-67. 21-point lead for the Portland High School Bulldogs. So can we refer to the Lawrence Bulldogs as their bench as puppies, Michael, and not create any stir amongst the
That's right, Lawrence.
the young bench of Portland High School Bulldogs? We won't get any telephone calls or messages. Another turnover. Sandro V comes up with it. And whoop, 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 whoop. I'll leave it there for Anthony Russo. Topher Philbrook. They're going to spread it out. He's going to run these guys wild. And there's a foul against Lawrence, number 42, Mike Brown. And Topher, the crowd pleaser that he is, turns to the dog pound and says, hey, stay in this game.
At the line of Portland, shooting two, number 4, Chris Topher.
So Topher is getting two because, as we said earlier, Portland is now in that double bonus. Well, and major substitutions.
Thrown in the towel.
Number 14, James Farrar.
3:13 left.
Number 30, Corey Tarantino. Number 34, Chris Knight. And number 50, Matt Clement.
Mike McGee, the coach for the Lawrence High School Bulldogs, is saying, I want some of my other players to have an opportunity to play at the Bangor Auditorium. Topher Philbrook misses two, but Sandro V, give him two for the putback off the missed free throw. 3:05 left, 46-71. Coco Coleman coming in. Another turnover. Sandro V in power mode. Robert Pillsbury
Going to the line.
and Robert Pillsbury will be going to the line shooting two. 46-71. 2:50 left. And Coco Coleman's at the bench, and scores table coming in. Richard Dorney, number 12, is coming in. Topher Philbrook wants the crowd to get into it, and they respond in kind by a less than spontaneous outburst of, "This is what we can do." So, Robert Pillsbury's going to the bench. Josh Longstaff is in. Richard Dorney's in. Coco Coleman's in. J.J. Emerton's in. And Sandro V is in. Quentin Porter is at the scorer's table. Now, Donner, I'm getting chilled again. So have Steve warm up that car, will you? I'll be miserable all the way to Newport. Nice. Yeah, he saves it, but into the waiting hands of Josh Barad. Missed shot. Coco Coleman. Coco and Sandro need to coordinate their high hand movements a little bit here. Sandro V trying to get the crowd juiced up a little bit. Quentin Porter's in. And Richard Dorney's in. Josh Longstaff is in. And count the basket. John Kent got 2. And Portland loses possession on some sort of violation here that and the dog pound for Portland High School is making requests of Coach Russo. They want John Fleshner to come in. 1:36 left. All right. Well, somehow I missed what they said. Fleshner is number 22 for Portland. Now that I've got it all. 1:14 left in this game. 53-73. 20-point lead. Okay, got a foul here.
Looks like Richard Dorney might be shooting a couple of foul shots.
So, Eagle Eye Mike Porter has picked up Dorney shooting 2 at the line. 53-73, 1:04 left. And
we've got ourselves to a point in this game where things are a little anticlimactic. It's been a good game.
Yeah, we'll stay for the awards ceremony and Portland pick up on some people.
Portland's first state championship in boys basketball in 13 years, I think.
58 ticks left, and Johan Sabbath coming in. Joel Arnold looks like he's coming in.
Number 24,
We want to also thank the operations staff here at the Bangor Auditorium. They were very generous. We came up a day ahead of time just to work out some placement issues in terms of where we could set up our camera, and it was very, very helpful, and we want to thank them. "22 seconds left. And in particular, I want to thank Dan Thompson, who took some time yesterday when we came up and showed us where we could set up our camera and our equipment. Richard Dorney will be shooting 2. And we hope that we've covered all of the thank yous. Portland Cable Access Channel 2, your cable franchise dollars at work for you, helping bring the Bulldog Sports Network into your home on these tape-delayed broadcasts. 54-75, 36 ticks left on the clock. And we need to check with our archivist, but we think that this is a first Portland High School boys championship in many a moon.
It's 86.
1986, according to our erstwhile color man, Mike Porter. Eight seconds left, 56-75.
Members of the 1986 state championship team came to the Portland practice and talked to the boys about what it meant for them and what it means for the school to have a state championship. That was this week.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Michael. As always. Now, did you get rid of all those doubting Thomases in terms of the Nesson cable ranking saying that Portland High School were 4th in New England?
Right. I brought them the poll. I made extra copies, and they saw the poll. 4th in New England, according to Nesson.
We had some doubting Thomases when we brought that to their attention early on. But the Dig Deeper Bulldog Sports Network team did its homework. That's the game. 58-77, 19-point lead. And this Portland High School boys basketball team has really made this as much of an event for the school as it is for them. I've noticed that they have been very much engaged and
they include the fans. They definitely include the fans.
Keeping the fans involved, and you can see it right now as the dog pound goes wild. And I even noticed when Robert Pillsbury got the vinyl award the other night, he sort of extended it to everyone else on the team.
Yes,
as
he did.
sort of an unselfish gesture of...
Very much so.
Now, we keep getting cues here from our electronic impresario that you're not speaking loud enough into this microphone. So,
is that right? Well, I'm running out of steam here. I've just really enjoyed doing these games with you, Tom, and this has been a great way to end the season by having the Bulldogs win this state championship up here in Bangor.
It definitely has been fun, and we genuinely appreciate all the feedback that people have given us in various and sundry venues, whether it's at a game or whether it's at Shaw's, or the mayor, Tom Kane, said that he had picked up on a couple of these games, and he was appreciative of what the Bulldog Sports Network was able to do. And it goes without saying, we really do we really have enjoyed bringing you these games.
And once again, we got to go back to the sportsmanship award, which the boys won in the Western Maine tournament. That makes the city of Portland very proud. It sheds a good light on the way of life in Portland and the atmosphere and Portland High School in general.
So Topher Philbrook once again is juicing up the crowd with You'd like to say, to some extent, he's an emotional leader for the team, but that role can be distributed among any number of players.
That's right. There are a number of them that are leaders, and a number of them that are quite emotional. Then you have a leader like Anthony Russo that's actually very calm and very rational almost all the time, and that's a different kind of leadership.
So the final score here at the Bangor Auditorium is 58-77. They've gone through the traditional exercise of removing the nets from the rims, and to this day we don't know who gets those nets.
I don't know where they go.
Topher Philbrook back to the crowd, getting him juiced up.
Richard Dorney's telling Johan to throw it long after the shot. And I said, he's not going to get this. I wanted it. I was going to tell him I was going long. I saw it go in. I just took off. I caught it. He was screaming to let it go, but I sure did. As I was going up, I kind of tripped up. I thought I missed it. I was kind of trying to hang my head, and then I looked and it rolled in. It can't be a more better way to end the season.
And now with Coach Joe Russo and assistant coaches Daniel Green, Joe Giordano, Caroline Lunar, please step forward to present the individual state championship awards. Sophomore, Josh Ronstadt. Sophomore, Richard Dorney. Sophomore, Quentin Porter. Sophomore, Joel Arnold. Sophomore, Johan Sabbath. Junior, John Everton. Junior, Ayakoko Coleman. Senior, Sandro Fukusada. Senior, Joe Giordano. Senior, John Fleshner. Senior, Chris Kerber. Senior, Anthony Russo. Senior, Adam Waxman. Calhoun High School. And senior Robert Pillsbury. Maine Principal Association Class A committee members, Mr. Norris Nickerson, Principal of Bangor High School, and Dwight Hunter, Athletic Administrator at Caribou High School, will now present the state championship gold ball to the Portland Bulldogs. Boys, congratulations on an outstanding season, an outstanding tournament, and an outstanding team tonight.
This is being flashed into living rooms in the greater Portland area due to this live UPN 35 broadcast. And as we said earlier, this is as much a team in school winning of the gold ball as it is just the team. Josh Longstaff is way up at the top, and Topher Philbrook being manhandled by the event staff. Tremendous amount of emotion here.
Very exciting ending to the season, isn't it? Come up here. These guys are just so happy to win this, and their fans crowded in front of us are delighted as well.